Welcome back, fellow gamers. Today I want to talk to you about Mirri the Cursed deck tech. Now you might be wondering, like, why would I choose such a narrow commander, one that probably doesn't really get played all that often. But why would you shoehorn yourself into a mono black, especially when there are other mono black vampire lords that you could be choosing instead of Mirri? Well, hold on, I'll explain it. So we'll jump into it and saying that I would like to build a Mirri deck based off the ability of just doing commander damage and winning the game that way. I wanted to try to do it with Mirri, and I've had some success. So I wanted to show you guys, give you pretty much the framework of the deck, and then let you run wild with it if it's something that you want to try. It's great putting down a commander and people asking you why would you play that? It's, you know, such a suboptimal card. Why would you go this route? And then to beat them with it is like the icing on the cake. So if you're like me and you like playing that underdog role, give this a try. Like I said, I'll give you the framework, and here, let's jump right in. So the way I want to go about it is by providing boosts and bumps to Mirri itself. The best way of doing that are cards like Vampire Nocturnus, Blade of the Blood Chief. Now, it definitely doesn't stop there. There's also cards like Captivating Vampire, which boosts the power and toughness of your vampire. And definitely, since you'll be running a monocolor deck, Ascendant Evencar is a card that I would play 100%. You're minusing token strategies, you're getting rid of those altogether. You are going against some multicolored creatures that might get those minus abilities. I always like to run Ascendant Evencar in mono black decks. Same with mono white decks and running his counterpart. I would definitely like to get out this general as soon as I can, and playing obviously mana rocks like Soul Ring and all the other ones that come with it is kind of a given. Getting off to those really quick starts is it's a must. If you really want to start doing your damage and getting out there quickly, getting ahead of the curve is always great. So a card like Crypt Ghast is definitely important to the deck. Planeswalkers like this Liliana here that actually boosts up your ability to pump out mana is going to be critical, especially considering that black has a hard time with ramping. Unless you can combine something like a Tama Yawgmoth with Cabal Coffers, then you probably will be struggling. So including as many mana rocks as you can definitely helps. Now, protecting your general is also pretty hard playing mono back, so you will want to put in Lightning Greaves and other cards like Swift with Boots to really protect your creature. Obviously, it doesn't protect against board wipes, but the targeting that does happen so much in EDH. It at least give you a peace of mind, so like that when you're playing an opponent that just likes to target other people's creatures, you'll be safe. Now, two equipments that I do run in this deck is Lashrite and Nightmare Lab, boosting up the fact that you have a lot of black mana that's probably coming from swamps will allow you to really boost up your creature. Going for that commander damage will certainly get there quicker. Don't forget Strata Scythe. And again, it comes down to making sure that you're boosting up your creature as much as possible. Now this, like I said, is going to be for a fast deck, but you might be asking yourself, Jay, what would happen if you are running up against somebody who has a lot of blockers and is essentially stonewalling you at every turn? Well, first of all, I'm happy you asked. But really, what I like to build in as a kind of protection measure against that is a 2-card combo that requires Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood. So the fact that Mirri has built-in lifelink allows you to really siphon off the land, and once this gets started, you just siphon off all of their health. But I have fought through walls before with this combo. Now, it does require your general to be out and these 2 enchantments, but hey, we're playing black. Black has a lot of tutor abilities, whether it's Diabolical, Demonic, Vampiric Tutor, the list goes on. But because we're getting a lot of life, I also like to pay and use my life as a means of drawing more cards to ensure that if you're not hitting your tutors, you can at least either pay life to hit them or hit the cards that you would be looking for, and there's a lot of great effects that have this ability. And obviously, Necroprudence is a broken card in itself. It fits into a lot of black decks, so let's not forget about that card. It's absolutely bonkers, and it's readily available now that it was just printed in Conspiracy. Was it printed in Conspiracy? No, it was printed in Eternal Masters. So, you know, there is the Eternal Masters printing, there is the From the Vault printing, there are, you know, the older printings of it that are also available. It's not that expensive of a card to actually acquire. So I've thrown out quite a few cards up onto the screen. I think that this gives you kind of a good base for you to work with your cards and your deck, and make sure that you can fine tune and give it your own personal stamp. I wouldn't run my specific full list in this because I do feel that there could be a lot of improvements made to this deck to make it more consistent. This is not by far one of my strongest decks. I would say in its current state, it's pretty much a glass cannon. For those of you who don't know, glass cannons are pretty much like you fire it once, and if it doesn't work, you're done. You're done. Like it will come up with either a way to combat by neutralizing your general, or just by realizing your singular type of strategy and then just countering it with, life gain, random chump blockers that make it so Mirri can't get through. There's a lot of ways that this deck can be beaten. Not saying this is a gang beat of a deck, but it definitely is an interesting way to go. And I'd be really interested to know what your thoughts on this deck are. Do you see any improvements? Are there any must insert cards that maybe I didn't mention? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to check out maybe some of my other Magic the Gathering videos, you can do so right here, including the playlist of Magic the Gathering. If you'd like to subscribe also, I do have that right there. And that will help you see when I upload new videos and when I go live for live streams. So it really helps the channel out, but it also helps you out in notifying you when these things get published. So thanks for watching. Until next time, good gaming.